There it goes. It's taking itself off. What do you think about that? That's awesome. So welcome back, everybody. We're gonna have a little fun in this episode, upgrading the shop to some better standards, believe it or not, for you and of course me. All right, so in this box I just picked up, I have desperately needed a ceiling fan. I can't run this loud thing whenever I'm doing recording out here, and it is getting miserable hot. And I mean miserable hot. It's already in the 90s in the shop right now, and I'm dreading recording this video because I want a fan running. So I have wanted one of these big 8-foot fans for forever. They've been quite pricey in the past. However, I just got on my addiction website, Vivor. Not sponsored, bought and paid for this. I was actually looking for something else and they were running sales on fans, almost completely sold out of every model I looked at. And I got an 8-foot DC powered fan right here, which should be quiet and move a ton of air in the shop. 8-foot fan's huge. Are you ready for this? $200. That's it. I had to jump on it. They had one left, I bought it. All right, what else we're gonna do in this episode? Y'all, you notice this area, it's dark. Sometimes y'all notice I'm running lights over there, but look at how dark it is. Also, look over here at my workbench. Shaded out, no light. This isn't working for me. So on the way is some more of these high bay shop lights, the round ones up here, unbelievably bright, love them. I've been running these in every single barn I have. At the other property, at the firewood processing barn, these Hyperlites make a huge difference. Check this out. All right, look out here when I cut them off. Look, the other lights are still running. Oh boy, look at the difference 4 of these lights make. Bam. So what's coming in the mail? I'm gonna put another one over this workstation since we're gonna do a lot of working and recording here. It's just too dark. Cool, we're gonna put one over here, illuminating my workstation. Actually, I tell you what, it's so miserable hot in here. I'm kicking this loud fan back on, which means I'm gonna throw y'all and fast forward for a second and throw some music to this because you're not gonna wanna hear this super loud fan. Don't get me wrong, it moves air. Not good for recording. Nice, not so nice for y'all. All right, just finished installing it, tested it out. Nice, quick and easy. So let's just go ahead and put it on high. There it goes. It's taking itself off. Now keep in mind these gigantic 8 and 9-foot fans that you see nowadays, they don't spin super fast, they don't have to. But this one's actually getting after it. All right, so I can definitely feel it moving some air now that it's kicking on. You can see the flag. It's starting to puff out because the air's hitting the floor and going up underneath. Yeah, take a look at that. Now, does it put out the same amount of air as that? Heck no. But at least it's moving air through my area, and listen to this. Completely silent. So now I can record and get a little bit of airflow and not run that super loud thing. All right, so I just had something come in the mail. This is what we've been waiting on to finish up this video, although we still have a lot left in this episode. So like I explained y'all, I have got a dark spot, as you can see over here now in my new plasma table work area, and I've got a heck of a shaded spot over here in the corner of my workbench. So we're gonna install 2 of these Hyperlite high bay lights right here. These things are extremely bright, and they're gonna light this area up for video recording. I have not been pleased with the light that I've had in here up until this point for recording. Cameras need a lot of light. I have adequate light in here, plenty good enough for the eye, but recording, whole different ball game. So a huge shout out and thank you to Hyperlite. They have sponsored the channel for years. I have got Hyperlite high bay lights in every single barn that I own. And my original ones that I put in the shop, I've only got 4 in here, extremely bright. I put those in years ago and I've had 0 issues with every single light of theirs that I own. So if you've never seen Hyperlights before, or you're needing a high bay light for say a pole barn, horse arena, workshop, you should really check these out right here. Extremely well made, robust, and again, I've never had one problem with them. All aluminum, heavy built, you'd think they're high priced. They absolutely are not. Go read all the positive reviews on Amazon. I'm gonna put some links down in the description, as well as links to their website. And I think you'll be surprised at how well built these are, how bright they are for the price that they sell them at. They also sent me out something very special that I'm gonna show you here in this episode as well, before we jump over here and start doing some plasma cutting in this episode. So I've got all the high bay lights off. I actually have my 10 of my regular shop lights on, but you can see, that just doesn't work. So you just seen how shaded this area and this area is. Only added 2 high bay lights, plus I'm gonna turn on the other 4 that I have. Look at the difference in my work area now. I love these lights. What do you think about that? Wow. I can actually see my workbench for once. And now over here in the plasma area, we've got good visibility as well. So you can see what I did? Yeah, I got one offset that's driving my OCD crazy, but look over here now. Wow, I can see so good. And this area also lit up nice. Y'all, I cannot recommend these lights enough. Go check out Hyperlite. Huge shout out and thank you to them for sponsoring this. I truly do believe they make awesome lights. All right, well, it keeps getting even better. So not only do they make high bay lights, they make all kinds of lights. Outside shop lights, street lights, you name it, they have it. But they just got into making neon signs, although I believe these are LED. We're about to check it out. But they reached out to me and asked me would I be willing to try one, and they create custom designs. So if you're wanting to get a custom sign made with a logo or a family name, whatever that may be, you know, Kelley's Bar and Grill, anything like that that you have in your head, you can actually go upload the design on their website and they can custom build you a light of different sizes. So I gave them the logo to our new creation channel, the Kelley's Creations. That's what we do here in the shop. We create things, and said, sure, I'd be interested in trying out a custom sign, see what they look like. Something on the wall should look awesome. All right, so let's take a look at this. I'm kind of excited about this one. All right, check that out. Kelley's Creations. We got a screwdriver, we got a wrench, fits the shop perfectly. All right, here's some mounting hardware up in here. Our remote control and our power supply. All right, let's get this hung up somewhere. Super bright lights off and see what this looks like. Looks good. All right, so we've also got a remote. We can play around with all different kinds of stuff. Let's see here. Oh, it wasn't even on bright. Oh, wow. That's awesome. We go all the way down to 10%, 20%. You're gonna see some flicker on the camera because the frame rate is not matching up what's going on there, but I can't see that with my own eyes. I like it. Kind of spruces the shop up. We need to get some more stuff going on this wall. So you got all kinds of different modes to where it'll kind of fade in, fade out. It goes fading back down. Again, you can't see that flicker with your eye. That's only on camera. All right, here's a different mode. So yeah, if you want to get like an open sign or store sign made, you can make it do all different kinds of stuff right here just by hitting the mode button. And by the way, you can turn the speed of flicker up and down as well. All right, since I record in the shop, I'm just going to leave it on steady. That way it doesn't distract in the background. Awesome. So if you'd like to get you a custom sign built, I'm going to put a link down where you can go check these out on their website. You can upload your logo, you can go with designs they already have, you can get whatever colors you want, you can do all kinds of cool stuff. All right, so the fun part of the show right here, we're going to do a little plasma cutting. This is my first job. That's a super simple job, and I'm just being honest with y'all. I don't really want to get into doing small jobs like this because there's just no money in it, especially with all the time, you know, editing and going through the software and everything else. I'm doing this for somebody that's very special to us that I would absolutely not hesitate to do this at all. So we're going to cut out some address numbers for this person, for their mailbox, for their fence, and for their house. They're in an HOA that's being very particular about sizes and pestering them to get things marked. So we're going to cut these out. Obviously that's a custom piece because it's a specific type of number. So I am actually going to change the tip out to a much smaller tip. I'm cutting 14 gauge steel. I have never cut this size steel, so we have to make some quick cuts, some adjustments, plug those numbers and what we see into my spreadsheet, and now I have a good starting point next time I cut 14 gauge steel. And y'all, you're gonna have to hear the fan because it's storming outside and I've got the doors closed and it's done got muggy and hot in here. All right. Too fast. All right, let's try this again with some new settings. All right, so here is my design, very simple, just text. I did this in my CAD and CAM software, imported it over here to my cut software, and you can see I put a bar on the bottom. Instead of just having individual numbers, which you would have to individually screw into a fence or mailbox, I decided to attach them to a bar. I'm going to drill a couple of holes in here, and then the person getting this can just put 2 screws in and it's ready to go. And I have specifically sized these numbers to be 3.5 inches because their post for their mailbox are 4x4s, which are 3.5 by 3.5 inches. So this should not stick up above that post. So I've tried to put a little thought in this, even though it's a very simple and basic project. Okay, I think we're ready to hit start and see what happens. If we mess this up, no big deal. This is old scrap steel. Let's roll. So far, so good. I don't know about speed and everything else. We'll play with this as we learn the machine. Oh yeah. All right, let's check this thing out. So check that out. We definitely have some dross and stuff on the back side, so I need to play around with the settings some more. We can knock that right off. So now we can paint that black, drill a couple holes in it. It'll mount on the side of a 4x4, and it meets the 3-inch minimum height requirement for numbers for his community. so. I think I'm gonna scale up the size. I can foresee this person wanting a bigger one on the fence or the house. So I've already got my file created. All I have to do is scale it up in this program, which is very simple to do. And we're gonna make something a little bigger, a little easier to read from the road. I changed my tip out, my cut speed, and raised my amps. That fine tip, I'm gonna leave in for intricate work. That really wasn't intricate work, but I like the bigger tip. I can blast this material. Now that I'm making bigger numbers, there's not as tight of intersection points. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. Double check all my settings here. All right, this should be super fast right here. Let's go. Oh, that bad boy is light. Check that out. I really don't need to cut that fast, but the machine's so powerful, that 100-hit plasma, I mean, I can do whatever I want. Awesome. All right, let's check this bad boy out. Came right out. So obviously we had the majority of the settings pretty good. Oh yeah, little to no dross on the back. I'm really liking that speed and that tip. And as you can see, we've still got intricate enough in these side areas. I'll just knock some of this dross off with a wire wheel. It's when you make smaller little step ins like that and cuts that I'll need to go to the smaller tip occasionally on really fine detailed work. All right, I still got to do one more, but I'm going to reach out to this person before I make any more. They may not want them this big. They may want one even bigger. But now that I can see the file's cutting pretty good, I'm happy with that. Now what we need to do is drill some screw holes in this. All right, so what a much needed episode. Bigger episode than y'all realize. For one, we definitely need to improve the recording in here. Look at the light that we have now. That's just only gonna make things better for y'all moving forward. We've spruced the shop up a little with our LED neon sign over here, and again, our lights above us thanks to Hyperlite. Don't forget, links are down in the description. And probably the most important thing is we designed and cut out our first ever project. As simple as this may seem, this is a huge deal for me because learning CAD and CAM software, well, that's a big deal for me. I'm definitely not a computer guru. So now that I'm figuring out how to design and create parts, we can go from simplistic address numbers and signs like this to complicated builds that we can bend and weld together. Everything from gussets, mounts, and all kinds of the other stuff that we're gonna create here moving forward. The sky is the limit. I have got so many things in mind. It's not just gonna be simple things, although sometimes it will. There's gonna be some huge creative builds coming. Speaking of, one of the next videos you're gonna see, we're gonna have a simplistic build. How do I describe this? But it's gonna do something I guarantee you have never seen. It's not a plasma table build. It's gonna be a welding shop build. I don't wanna spill it. Trust me, you're not gonna wanna miss this episode. All right, y'all, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Looking forward to putting this plasma table to use and creating more content for y'all.